Hello, my name is Karl. I'm the Senior Animal Nutrition Technician here at the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens in the Animal Nutrition Center. And today we're going to give you a peek behind the scenes at what we do. We are the first people every day at the zoo. The Animal Nutrition Center opens at 5 a.m. and somebody's here almost every day until 4 p.m. The first part of the day is dedicated to putting diets out for the keepers to come and pick up, and preparing diets for that afternoon and the next day. And then in the afternoon, we do our cleaning. We have to wash all the dishes that the food went out in and prepare for the next day. Some of our food is very expensive and we use a lot of food. For example, our Manatee Critical Care Center goes through over $123,000 worth of romaine on average every year. We feed human grade food to all our animals. One of our key things when preparing a diet to see whether it's good enough to give to the animals, if you wouldn't eat it, then we're not feeding it to the animals. In 1981, there were 17 different formulated grains that zoos used to prepare their diets, and now we have over 70. As we learn more about what animals need, we develop to meet that need. This is an example of our wide variety of grains. This is where we store all our grain and our hay, all our dry foods. And I think we have probably 50 or 60 different kinds of grains that we keep out here. Now, this is just bulk storage. When we prepare it for a diet, we open up one of these bags, put it into plastic bins with locking tops for freshness, and then we can scoop out of it for the diets that we need. This is the main body of the kitchen. We have 3 preparation counters. On my left, this is where we prep meat and fish. This is our main table for chopping vegetables for most of the vegetable produce eating animals. And then behind me is where we prepare bird diets that don't get any meat or fish, and our primate diets. So we try to keep it as sectioned out as possible, reduce cross-contamination. So no meat for the animals that don't get meat, things like that. Right through that door, we have a thaw room where we pull all our frozen meat to leave overnight to thaw out so that we can make the diets with it. Then beyond that is our main cooler where all our fresh produce is stored. And then through a door off of that is our deep freezer where we keep all of our frozen meats and fishes, things like that. For our produce deliveries, they run between $1,000 and $1,500 each delivery, and we get a delivery twice a week. So a Cisco truck shows up Tuesdays and Fridays, and we spend probably a good 45 minutes to an hour unloading and stocking our shelves in there. And all that provides the fresh produce that we chop up every day and portion out to the various animals that get whatever it is. Our horticulture department plants several food item plants around the zoo in various areas that they'll harvest and bring to us. And one of those items is sugar cane. So they'll plant and grow sugar cane, and then they'll cut that and give that to the great apes and let them chew on that. They'll plant collards, eggplant, zucchini, strawberries. Just depends on what does well that year. All that doesn't wind up being part of the diet, it winds up being part of the enrichment, because we can't count on what we're growing to sustain our animals. Speaking of enrichment, we have our breakfast counter where there's all of these are enrichment items. None of this is part of their normal diets. So we'll give out Cheerios so they can lay a trail of Cheerios through an exhibit and get the animal to move through. Jelly, ketchup, barbecue sauce, different beans and rice. All this is extra to the animals' diets just to give them something unique and different. Of course, we go for the nothing added, as organic as possible, so that we're also looking out for their nutritional welfare as we're giving them these treats. I can tell you that all of the food that goes to any animal in the zoo comes through this building. Daily, Our staff here prepares roughly 200 to 250 individual diets. And then there are several bulk diets where we'll gather up a bunch of produce to go to a satellite kitchen where they prepare diets. For instance, the great apes. The great apes, they turn in a grocery list every morning. We fill that up, they take it to their building and they chop it up to give out to the individual animals under their care. Our diets are printed out as just like a recipe card. So we have 4 individual books for different portions. This book is for our mammals. We have a book for birds. We have a book for herps, which is reptiles and amphibians. And then we have a separate book for our primates. And that's not the end of it. We also have a board for our cats, because with cats we're working with meat and there's some blood involved, and turning the pages, the book would just be too nasty. So we keep a board where we don't have to touch it, but it's big enough that we can read while we're preparing the diets. So we have to answer to standards from 3 separate regulating groups, USDA, FDA, and the AZA, and we have to meet all of their standards. And we're inspected routinely by the AZA to make sure that we're meeting their standards. I can tell you we did exceptionally well in our last inspection. So we were very happy about that. To eliminate food waste, keepers give us feedback. Hey, our cats aren't eating this meat. It's a good example. So then we'll have to look at alternatives to what we can feed them, and then the whole process of getting the diet approved goes through again, and the nutritionist has a say and the vets have a say and we have a say. It's like if they want cod, but cod's not available in this part of the country, then we're not going to feed them cod. We'll have to look for something else. But across the board, we're trying to meet the animal's nutritional needs and what they'll actually eat. Spinach is good for you, but not everybody will eat spinach. So you have to eat kale or something along those lines. It's the same thing with the animals. Not all the animals will eat necessarily what's good for them. We have to figure out a way to get that nutrition into them where they'll still eat it. Us spending the most of the zoo's money, every little bit helps. So on the zoo's website, there's a wish list section, and we rotate things through there that we can accept as donations. Obviously, we can't take any food that's already been opened or past expired date because we're trying to maintain our high level of nutritional standards. But anything that you could donate from that's on the wish list would all help keep our budget down to provide the food for the animals. We hope you enjoyed this visit to our Animal Nutrition Center. For more stories about animals in the zoo, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.